Assalamu alaikum and a very good day. Um, I'm Iqbal. I'm representing my team, Rajkumar, Dineshwaran, and also Chandru. We are presenting uh, under the topic of consumer behavior market intelligence about local food brand, which is Kluang Station. Assalamu alaikum and a very good day. Um, I'm Iqbal. I'm representing my team, Rajkumar, Dineshwaran, and also Chandru. We are presenting uh, under the topic of consumer behavior market intelligence about a local food brand, which is Kluang Station. Kluang Station is a typical F&B chain in a kopitiam environment, which aims to provide a good basic kopitiam offering service of drinks, which serves authentic Hainanese and local dishes, combined with its signature local coffee and also homemade kaya. That is how they have started with. Uh, it is also expanded through halal certification since 2011 to attract more customers and more segments, become a universal reach to all the consumers. In these slides we will cover who are millennials. Millennials refers to the portion of the world population that reached adulthood between the year of 2000 and 2010. This generation is generally marked as elevated usage of internet and also other online things such as tablets, mobile devices, and also exposure to the digital media, which is like social media and so on. So they are also termed as a digital natives. So these are group of people was also referred to Gen Y, born between 1980 to 2000. So they are also where the populations of 2.5 billion worldwide. Geographically, these are diversified ethnically and also racially. So this group of people, they grew up alongside of technology, where before 1990s, the early childhood refers to non-GUI environment, which is non-graphic user interface kind of thing. Whereas for this Gen Y, they are not used to the DOS environment. These are more towards enhanced version of everything, be it technological in terms of electrical, electronics, and also all sort of things, including media, which plays a vital role. So if let's say you look at it, when they grew alongside of enhanced version of digital media such as Facebook, Twitter, and also media streams such as YouTube, on audiovisual exposure, and also dominance of social network. And why do they matter? By 2020, this group of people will be 50% of the workforce, and an additional of 25% will come into the workforce by 2030. So this boils down to the buying power, where typically this group of people, they works in a uniform mode of making a difference to their lifestyle, and also their lifestyle itself is embedded into certain things that could not be compromised, because they are highly confident, they have a high expectation, and also achieve. Major generations of Western world. If let's say we look at millennials in Western world, they are achieving on the third level at the present year. So another 20 or 30 years down the road, we can see they will be moving upwards towards Generation Alpha. But there are a few things that we need to look at millennial worldwide, not only US, but here we have drilled down towards the study conducted in US. But these are similarly the same thing happens worldwide. The only difference is that the GDP and also the income of that respective demographic plays a vital role. But the core in it doesn't make the shift that far off. And if let's say look at it, they are the next layer of workforce, as mentioned earlier in our earlier slide. And also the purchasing power that they are carrying too is in US alone is around 170 billion per year. They also spend in terms of technological side of it, like WhatsApps, messages, tweeting, and so on. So this will make up 50% of the workforce by 2030 in a mode of well-connected and well-socialized community. So in terms of certain other areas, not only social, but also on the health and well-being, they also have this tendency to go with the technology. And if let's say look at these slides here, it shows 80% of millennials sleeps with their phone next to their bed. They are so savvy in terms of online thinkings. And the other part of it is they are self-starters, and we can look at it here. 20% of the millennials are self-employed. That means they dictate their own terms, their own time, and what they want it to be in 5 years down the road. Having a clear set of goal to achieve. And majority of them, or half of them, thinks that technology helps them and also the whole world use their time wisely and also efficiently, which is the case. And if let's say look at it in terms of social media wise, 14% of them is already on Twitter, and 3.1% of millennials already earning enough fund or money to fund their own lifestyle. And this also works down towards the dominance of certain segment that they are in. And looking at the current phase, they are almost everywhere. In order to cope up with them, we have to, the industry has to go on a handhold session so that they will be alongside surviving with this millennials characteristic. And if let's say look at it, typically landline was seen as the anchor,
and it is no longer the
and
case,
it is no longer the case,
especially
whenever it relates to
bank loan
applications or your permanent address, residential, and so on.
This
This is also boils down to
trustworthy
certain things of
and
trustworthy and
online
also
transaction
an online
that they are
transaction that they are creating
next
in a
level
next level
where it requires
where it requires certain integrity in them as well. For, mil- for millennials, there's an importance of identifying the right market segments. This is to create a stronger marketing messages and marketing tactics that will penetrate their market and also this group of people, the differentiation among competitors, exploring niche market opportunities. In this area, we can see four market sections that we will discuss. But looking at it in terms of creating stronger marketing messages and marketing tactics, it is an investment of marketing campaign and delivering a more customized message relevant to the age group or the society. And as for the differentiation among competitors, being specific on certain value, self-value proposition to deliver the best possible solutions. Millennials constantly look for forward ideas of connecting emotionally and also having a greater empathy towards businesses and also the services that meets their personal characteristics. And also, this allows a business to explore market opportunities in new products, as millennials are perceived to be a small spender compared to Generation X and baby boomers. But they are widespread population where they are very careful and also prudent in their purchasing decision and also attributes that leads to their purchase decision and also intentions. So in this way, they are segmented as a consumer that is very careful in terms of their purchase decision, and the pattern has to be studied clearly to identify the four market segmentation that will be explained in the following slides as well. So here we are going to cover demographic segmentation. Demographic segmentation, if let's say you look at it, is one of the most popular and also commonly used tool of market segmentation. This is a statistical data of group of people which shows in a smaller categories such as age, then gender, and also their income and which income group they are grouped into. And instead of reaching an entire market, this brand uses certain methods to focus on resources within a defined group of a market. For example, millennials spend most of their time in Instagram and Facebook, while their seniors prefers more like email inboxes or newsletters. So this is a good example of demonstrating the age of demographic factors and then the difference of it. And it is also important for business to avoid stereotyping in case of project to make mistakes for certain gender specific and so on. So this will also lead to certain disaster or losing out certain other portion, where certain other portion or group might be having more buying power or loyalty, brand loyalty, and so on. So in this case, we will not be alluding to make income as one of the critical measures, but also whether it is affordable and also consumable by all levels. As for the psychographic segmentation, this categorizes the audience and customer by factors that relating back to their personalities and characters. So these are slightly more challenging in terms of identifying the demographic that they stand to, and also it is quite subjective. These are not data focused, more towards the research to uncover and understand certain things like social status, yeah, opinions of certain subjects. But in this case, millennials are referred as a person that will be expediting their service deliveries offered towards them. And also they are also imperative, impatient, and in this case, and also creative, but will usually take their easier alternative. If let's say we look at Kluang Station as one of the brand that we are looking at now, so millennial is also looking at certain other areas, which is fast and also healthy, and also blended with the environment that they're looking at, and also certain other options. Okay, in this case, impatient. If let's say you look at it, there's a lot of working people in this generation that prefers to get their food online or through service delivery, such as food panda and so on. And they also have a tendency to shift their choices and also their decision. So they have certain time to think and to cancel order or whatever not. And also they are also as I said, they expedite the delivery. So they are looking at certain commitment of 15 minutes delivery, 30 minutes delivery, or whatever. So in this case, this will also drive the industry towards matching that requirement. I think typically Pizza Hut and also Domino's is also had been the pioneer in getting these service deliveries measured in terms of KPI, and also it is being rewarded reversely back to the client. Let's say there's a delay, they will be given a coupon of discount and so on. So on the other hand, they also have an opinion on work-life balance. So they need an environment which is cozy and also suitable for their online works, and also not desk bound, but kind of environment that will be serving both their lifestyle in terms of having to get a meal and also having to accomplish their work. So to attract these millennials as one of the customer in Kluang Station, we can look at the Kluang Station's outlets. It is being designed in a way that other competitors of Kluang Stations like Old Town Coffee, Paparish, and so on. So whenever we come to behavioral segmentation, this is more towards a personalized group of people, and this can be termed offering a direct service at the right timing, especially something like breakfast after certain hours, brunch, and so on. So this applies to them well, especially if let's say they work in a fast-paced environment. They just need to grab certain things and then they will just go off to work. And also they are also predictive. Historical behavior patterns help to predict and also influence future customer behaviors. In return, they are also having a reverse impact in the case of having to have reusable items or recyclables and also biodegradable things that is brewing behind the mind of these millennials. So these data help to set a pattern of what is need to be offered on the next service offerings, and also as a promotion, and also to expand the business.
Geographic segmentation
Geographic segmentation
simplest type of
is
market
the simplest type of market
categorize
segmentation. It categorizes customers
geographic
based
borders. It is not
geographic
applicable
borders.
for all
It is not
areas
applicable for all
of
areas of
Kluang station's business,
Kluang
but
station's
it
business,
becomes a very
but
critical
it
when it comes to
becomes a very
new
critical
location
when
or
it comes to
outlet
a new
decision
location or
making.
outlet
They
decision
can
making.
decide
They can
on
decide
resources
on resources
required
required
such as
such as workforce,
workforce,
premise size,
equipment
equipment
based
based
on
on
the
the
location,
location of
and
the
also
outlet,
existing
and
and
also
also future
existing
neighborhoods,
and also future
including
neighborhoods,
rivalries
including
or any
rivalries
competitors
or any
that is
competitors that is
also operating nearby.
also
In this
operating
case,
nearby. In this
it
case,
also offers certain
it also
differentiation.
offers certain
That is
differentiation.
tradition of
That means the tradition of
originality
originality or
of
authenticity
Johor-based
of
kopitiam.
Johor-based kopitiam. If let's say we look at the factors that driving
Let's say we look at the
millennials
factors
consumer
that driving
behavior towards
millennials
Kluang
consumer
Station,
behavior towards
the choices that
Kluang Station.
Kluang Station
The
can offer,
choices that
and also the blessing
Kluang
brands
Station can offer,
that is also
and also the
available
blessing
throughout
brands
the nation,
that is also
and also the
available
influence
throughout
culture.
the nation,
These are blended
and also the influence culture.
culture of
These are
Hainanese
blended
Chinese food,
culture of
but halal
Hainanese
certified in
Chinese
return.
food, but
So this
halal
is
certified
also,
in
I
return.
mean, act as an
So this
influencer
is also, act as
into
an
getting the
influencer
traditional Chinese
into
cuisine
getting the
of
traditional
breakfast
Chinese cuisine
concept
of
into well
breakfast
accepted
concept
all
into
day round kind of a meal.
the round
But it also having a
kind of a meal.
diversity whereby
But it also
not
having a
only the workforce,
diversity whereby
but also the age group, and
not
also
only the workforce,
the
but also
recipes,
the age group,
and
and
also the
also
service offerings.
the
If let's say you look
recipes,
at the service
and
offerings,
also
there are
the service
also
offerings.
certain other
If let's say you look at the service
flavors
offerings,
of
there are also certain other
Malay and also Indian mix.
flavors of
In this case,
Malay and also
uh,
Indian mix.
with a caution of health
With a caution
conscious
of
and also well-being,
health
which is an area
conscious
that
and also well-being,
millennials look at
which is an area that
before
millennials
they set a
look at
decision
before
on certain
they
brands
set a
to go
decision
with it.
on certain
So
brands to
the
go with it.
gravity, center of
So
gravity is
the
towards
gravity
wellness
center
and
of
also
gravity
prevention.
is
So in this
towards
case,
wellness and also prevention.
a
So in this
simple
case,
yet healthy
a simple
food menu
yet
compared to the
healthy
pure fast food
food menu
is well
compared to
accepted.
the pure fast food
And also,
is well
on the other
accepted.
point,
And
a
also,
strong believer on purpose.
on the other point,
So they will be also
strong
following
believer
up.
on purpose.
But the thing is,
So they will be also
Kluang
following
Station is
up.
also an
But
emerging
the thing
market.
is,
So in
Kluang
this
Station
case,
is also
they
an
will be a
emerging
strong
market.
follower.
So in this
But
case,
in the
they
long
will be a
run,
strong follower. But in
Kluang
the long
Station need
run,
to
Kluang Station
work
need
on
to
certain things, something like
work
recyclable
on certain things,
items,
something like a recyclable
such as paper
items,
straw and
such as
environmental
paper
conscious
straw and
service
environmental
offerings.
conscious
And also
service
maybe in
offerings.
the future it will be
And
something like a
also,
vegetarian
maybe in the
or
future, it
whatever
will
that
be something like a
will strike a deal
vegetarian,
to
whatever
the
that will strike a deal
group
to
of millennials.
the group of millennials.
If you look at Kluang
Station's
if
action
you look
plan
at Kluang
and
Station's
our
action plan
recommended
and
proposal
our
in
recommended
revamping some of the current state of
proposal
Kluang
in
Station
revamping some of the current
into
state of
attracting more
Kluang Station
millennials as a
into
customer.
attracting more
They need
millennials
to look at the
as a
four
customer.
core
They need to look
elements
at the four
which will tie up
core
a customer,
elements
basically.
which will
In
tie
this
up a
case, it
customer
starts with
basically.
a product
In this
or
case,
service
it
offerings.
starts with a product or service
In this
offerings.
case, we can look at
In
whether
this
it is
case,
hybrid and
we can
healthier
look at
or
whether
blended
it is
with other
hybrid and healthier
cultures
or
and
blended
also
with other cultures
recipes that
and also
will attract
recipes that will attract more
these customers. This
millennial
includes
based customers.
like a
This
truly
includes
Asian or
like a
plant-based
truly Asia
or
plant-based or organic kind of a product.
Product name is Spec Curry.
And the product name is Spec Curry is one of it, which is a different kind of spices and flavors added into a local context with an internationalized look. This will be some kind of a soup or gravy. They'll be using spaghetti instead of yellow noodles. The traditional tauhu is in pack with black mushrooms. These are some products that we can think of, and also certain other things that maybe like a burger Malaysia, the traditional Malay snack, popularly known as roadside burgers, will be replaced with a larger size of bun filled with curries and other raita, and also popular dish, side dish. Not towards Western kind of service offering, which potato and so on, but this is more towards a healthier menu, but it is blended and presented in a way that it will be more attractive. And also we're looking at reimaging the premises. This will be one of the key factors that will attract. At times, it is not the pricing, not only the products, but how this is being presented and how you can have your meal or the environment that they need to enjoy, maybe in a longer period of time or with a family or certain other setup that will allow the couples and so on. So this has to be a user and also customer friendly and adaptive environment. Last but not least is the pricing, the packaging. Packaging has been a proven method to serve as a perfect tool to grab the millennials, not only attention, but also drawing them towards the product. So this will be one. Now we look at competitor analysis and also market outlook through our SWOT analysis. Okay, in this table quadrant here, we can see strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We start with the strengths, which is the food that is being served. The menu itself is having a good reputation as a healthy breakfast, dinner, lunch menu, and it will also blended in localized taste, equivalent to the rest, and also at times certain things is higher than what other competitors can serve, and having to have experienced management team as well as outreach to all the areas, especially not that kind of expanded township, but you can still see Kluang station is there, and also positive publicity in media, the feedback, and also the repetitive customer that they can log in is what stands out from the rest of their competitors. Having to say that, the opportunity wise, having to have a community which is millennial, where they are very health conscious, so in this way it also help to boost Kluang stations returning customer, and seasonal menu that keep things refreshed into the mode of the season is also an added advantage, and also there is an opportunity to expand on the outside, and also the high exposure location. The opportunity lies in a dense and also well-established township. The rental may be higher, and also the existence might attract others in terms of higher level of earning group of people. But having said that, they will also drive through their brand across the board in the nation. And if let's say you look at weaknesses, the focus to target on millennial is relatively low. We hardly see any of these kopitiam fellas into Facebook ad or YouTube. Uh, that is also one of the driving factors, because having to have millennials more on digital media stream, this has to be done so that they can penetrate into that market. And also the number of outlets is also limited compared to the competitors in the market. And in terms of threats, competitor offer delivery and takeaway. That means that is also being one of the added advantage. But now with Food Panda, Grab, and so on, that will minimize. But having to say that, these services is also being used by other competitors, so it is still poses as a threat. And competitors are located nearby, and the competition is relatively high, and certain competitors offer certain rates rate that would be considered as low compared to Kluang stations. And last but not least, the uncertain economic environment currently, and also the future, has to be looked into as a form to prepare better in terms of menus to suit the diet, and also the budget, as well as the service delivery up to the end client. If you look at the fast food market in terms of kopitiam, a new breed of kopitiam such as Highland Kopitiam, Old Town, Papa Rich is an emerging market. Though we can see certain areas, Papa Rich is actually closing down, so that is adding an advantage for Kluang station to replace it at that location. But must be careful in terms of the selection. There might be a reason that the Papa Rich and also Old Town is closing down at that particular location. It might be the taste or the lifestyle of that community doesn't suit this kopitiam, and it has to be well addressed, and also the attraction must be there in terms of certain analysis or survey to be conducted before Kluang station step in to that particular location. If you can look at it here, these are the 10 most fast food in Malaysia. Of course, KFC stands number one. These are so-called international brands. So in order to compete with this international brand in terms of fast food, Kluang Station and other local brands stands out better. But the thing is, the outreach to the end customer is still lacking. So that need to be improved, so that local kopitiam such as Kluang Station can position themselves in Malaysians consumer to replace these brands from the overseas. If let's say look at this table here, this is analysis of the best time to consume certain fast foods. So in this case, if you say look at certain prime, the first three graphs shows a lunch, dinner, and breakfast. So the rest of it is accessorial kind of sales. So in this case, Kluang Station need to address and also position themselves towards the area that having more in terms of these three bars that we can see, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But the orderly manner that it works in terms of sales is lunch, dinner, and breakfast. So there should be a campaign to introduce breakfast, so on, such as what KFC and also McDonald's has been doing for the past few years. So that has to be tapped into so that they can boost. It's not necessarily that Kluang Station need to dive into lunch as a entry point. They can make a breakthrough in other areas, such as party. Maybe currently we are looking at it as a low sales volume, but if let's say we are, tied up to the certain brand of event kind of a management, the sales volume might be low, the number of events, but in terms of revenue, it might be high. So definitely it will be high because these are comparison to one, and if let's say we look at revenue wise, that will be much wiser to look at as a business.